For this problem, we need to solve, graph, and write the answer in interval notation. So first, let's go ahead and solve these inequalities. So we want to isolate the x term on each inequality, and I'm just going to do this one at a time. So first, let's add 1 to both sides. Now we have negative 4x is greater than or equal to negative 9 plus 1, which is negative 8. Now I need to divide by a negative number. Hopefully you're having like a warning sign go on in your head like, hey, I'm remembering when we divide by a negative number and it's an inequality, I need to flip that inequality sign. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to now have x instead of greater than will be less than or equal to negative 8 divided by negative 4, which is a positive 2. So that's one of them solved. So remember, divide by a negative, flip the inequality sign. Okay, or let's go ahead and subtract 2x first to both sides. So 6x minus 2x, we have now 4x plus 5 is greater than 17. We want to isolate that 4x, so minus 5 to both sides. We now have 4x is greater than 12. Divide by 4. So now I have x is greater than 3. Okay, let's just double check that minus 2x. We got 4x minus the 5. We got 12. Divide by 4. We don't have to flip the inequality sign. Why don't we have to flip it here? Well, it's because there's no negative. So we only flip it when we divide by a negative number. Okay, so I've got my two answers here, my two inequalities solved, and keep in mind it's or, which means anywhere there's a line is going to be the solution. So x is less than or equal to 2. Well, since it can be equal to, I'm going to have a closed circle. It's smaller than 2 or less than 2, so it's going in that direction. X is greater than 3, so I will have only an open circle at 3 because it's not equal to. And it's x is greater than 3, it's all the numbers bigger than 3, and so I will have a line going that way. So there is the graph. Next, interval notation. When we do interval notation, it needs to be written from least to greatest. So I'll start down here. I can see this line is going to negative infinity. So I'll start with that, negative infinity, parenthesis, because we always do a parenthesis around infinity, and it goes up to 2. Now it's including 2, so I'll have a bracket because it's equal or a closed circle. And then I want to use my symbol for or. So or 3 to infinity. Infinity again has a parenthesis. 3 is not equal to, so it also has a parenthesis. And so that will be our final answer.